Here we are with another Facebook Live. Sorry, Friday Night Live, April 22nd, 22. See if we can get some sound coming through. I think, oh yeah, I think it's working. If anybody's out there and can hear me, give me the thumbs up. Oh, I see a heart. All right, that's very good. Got some motorcycles happening outside. How's everybody doing? It's getting more interesting, more exciting every day as we go on to this massive change on this planet for humanity, for Mother Earth and everything else. It's a big shift for all of us. And when's a good time to take charge of one's health? Well, now is always a good time. Now is always a good time. And it's not something that we are, used to being taught about, I guess. It's not really part of our most cultures around the world. Health, there's the illusion of health, and then there's what we have an understanding of true health, and then there's outright onslaught of destruction to everything that we are. And we must make a choice sometime in our lives where we're going to say, okay, this is up to me. Nobody else can do this for me. There's no magic pill that's going to save me, or some miracle operation or anything. We just make the choice and dive in, take responsibility, be disciplined, which is the toughest thing to do. When we have family and friends, co-workers, people we live with, spouses, everybody has a different opinion. As they say, there's many opinions as there are assholes, right? But well, the saying goes, your opinions are like assholes. Something like that. I don't even remember it now. Some people have at least one, or some have two or three, something like that. Got another quiet night, a couple minutes late here, but always something on the go with Mama. So big challenges taking care of anybody who's completely disabled. That's not a fun place to be in yourself, or to be the one doing the caregiving. It's difficult for everybody. And we have to ask ourselves, well, why are we in this situation on either end? And the only way we're going to find those answers is what? Going within to higher order, because we're not going to find those answers in this realm. Everything is the way it is. Everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. We are all here for training, learning, experiencing. And, you know, we have to embrace everything that comes our way. Sometimes it's going to be very, very tough and very challenging. It's just like fasting. Once we jump into the road of fasting, we're going to see all kinds of things happening. We're going to go through all kinds of experiences. And we're going to be into many places of unknown. And that's understandably the scary part, I guess, for people. The unknown. It's a very daring place to go. You know, if we're putting our trust in other people, giving their experiences. And, you know, it's Diane. Hello, long time not being on here. Nice to see you, Diane. You know, it's when, you know, some people go into a couple experiences and they're giving advice which they know little or nothing of, you know, from a couple of experiences. It's really dwelling in a place of unknown, just wetting your feet, you know, going along as the years went by and then the decades went by and more time goes by. We really know nothing. And a lot of those no things give us a little scratch of understanding. Right, Diane? And with that, we're able to, you know, guide some people and steer them into the direction that's going to help them the best and have the least amount of challenges, hopefully. There's always going to be challenges. And it's impossible to structure something that's going to cover every single emotion on the planet because it's infinite. But there's really not much that, you know, since we've been heavily sharing this the last 6 years, but the last 31 years, that I haven't encountered someone that has gone through something that, you know, I haven't experienced to some degree. You know, I haven't gone through any operations. Thank goodness, thank God. That's something that I have no experience of, no operations. But it's not something I would want to experience. You know, if anybody craves to go get operated on. I know there are people in the what do you call it, plastic surgery realm, where they're addicted and they keep going back for more and more and more plastic surgery. It becomes an addictive obsession, more like a mental illness, I would think. Once you've changed the facial structure, especially the nasal cavity, you change the emotion, because the breath that comes in through the brain, passes by the brain, it affects the emotion big time. And we have all these certain facial structures, and which carries our intent and emotion. And if we change the physicality, we're going to affect the emotion. So there is that to contemplate about, whether we want to believe it or not. Environments dictate outcome. Change in the environment is going to dictate the outcome. The breath is direct effect on physicality and emotion. So unless we get in some kind of accident where we need some reconstructive surgery or stuff like that, I would highly advise against doing any facial changes with plastic surgery. Highly advise against it. But people will do what they do, and for whatever reason. If there's a big disfigurement and born like that, or from a severe imbalance, these are understandably things that we may correct through surgeries. Everything has a purpose. Surgery, there are useful purposes for surgery, that's for sure. There are lives that have been saved with surgeons, absolutely. But when we look at the all statistics of mainstream, medics, we got to really say, whoa, wait a minute. This is only on a absolutely need for basis, because you don't want to be going to these places unless absolutely it's an emergency, some kind of accident or something. Because when it has to do with your health and well-being, it's not a place that exhumes, or what's the proper word, that puts out health and well-being. Health and well-being comes from within, comes from source divine, comes from soul, comes from our emotion and intent, comes from our lifestyle, our environments, relationships. Relationships is a big one, which, we all have challenges at, and we all can work at improving our relationships at whatever degree. But interesting times. What's happening out in BC, Diane? Everything okay down out in that out west? And I know you're still probably going through some grief and stuff, and it's all understandable. It's after we've spent the whole, most part of our lives with somebody, and then, we part our ways. It's always tough, Very tough. Always good. Awesome. Very good. You know, your husband's soaring throughout the universes now, just enjoying the limitless realms. Yep, grieving is good. Absolutely. You know, all emotions. We can't say, they're good or bad. They just are emotions, and they're experiences that we need to go through to learn from. For sure, he's now free. Awesome. But yeah, very tough taking care of somebody with dementia. Let me tell you, if you've never experienced it, you really have no sense of what it takes and how much it pulls out of you. It's very, very challenging. And you know, we do the best we can. It's it's difficult to try and imagine to be in their world where they may be understanding things, but the communication's not coming out, and it's really a very difficult place to try and comprehend. You know, dementia is the worst disease. Thank God I have MS to lean on. Yeah, it's my mother's got that diagnosis, if you want to put it, and it's not a pleasant place. The brain, everything starts shutting down, the physicality, and it's very interesting, very, very interesting. But all for a purpose, and we're all learning from these experiences, and we make the best of it. But it is very, very, very challenging to be, in and around these situations. And I always give my hats off to people who choose a caregiving as a career to take care of people like that. So we really have to have endless supply of patience and understanding and wisdom, and it gets to the best of us, and people need breaks from just to reset, refresh. And very few will understand unless they've been through this kind of stuff. He was the best teacher, LOL. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. What's going on my computer? It's going cuckoo again. Live it, love it is the motto, the art of subtraction, the art of letting go, the art of giving. These are all subtraction. The art of accumulation is what most of the planet is doing on a big scale. the majority, I would think. The art of accumulation, big portion. And is why we have what we have with the Mother Earth being pillaged and raped for so many decades. How long can it go on for? Until Mother Earth says, can't do it anymore. I need to make some corrections. And so-called natural disasters swallow up things and wipe things out. It's all for purpose. The planet has to do what it has to do. It can't put an emotion involved in itself to be able to carry itself on, to sustain itself. It has to do what it has to do to move towards balance. There's no right or wrong for this. It just is what it is. It's the design, inherent design in all of us. You know, the body is going to do what it has to do to try and keep itself going. And, you know, until it can't function anymore. Mother Earth Day today. Oh, is it? She's so very wise, balanced. Yes. Awesome. I didn't know. It's today. Don't see it on the calendar. Master fasting. What is it? It's a simple lifestyle that we choose to honor the divine and through our lifestyle, through our meditation, our prayers, our worshiping the wonderful divine creator. So something that we see, you know, the few of the few will grasp and take it on as a lifestyle. What this truly is it is a lifestyle. As I said, from 1990, Arnold Ehret's book, Fasting, my lifestyle. Never looked back. Just kept going, and all the different crazy things I've done because I wasn't able to grasp all that information without the experience. So the going through the motions and the experiences allowed us to expand on that wisdom that was shared from his experiences. And so it is. And it carries on with everybody's experience. This is how Master Fast has been built. And it's so powerful because it's built on many, 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 many thousands of experiences from many, many, many thousands of people. And that's what gives it the power. So Master Fast has nothing to do with me. It's just information that came through me and through everybody else. Wisdom says that we really know nothing. So, you know, with a whole bunch of nothings, we came with a little bit of something. I don't know how 0 and 0 makes that something, but yeah. It's all those wonderful experiences, people sharing, people caring. It's just Great place to be. We have what do we have? Another week of Ramadan in the Islam community for Muslims. 30 days of dawn to sunset, dry fasting. You're just reversing your daily routines to some degree. It's putting a sacrifice on oneself. You know, when you're dry fasting all those hours, you don't want to be eating heavy. You know, you can do it master fast system style and stay on all liquids, but you really need to be adept at and have a good couple of years of living and loving it under your belt if you really want to do that on all liquid. I wouldn't do it as a newbie. It's too much of a shock to the system. One too many people overdo it with their eating, and they're already in a severely imbalanced state, and not good outcomes when you see that. You know, fasting, we've got to be prudent. Fasting is not something that we want to play around with. It's you got to use prudence in everything you do with fasting, because you can really mess yourself up very quickly, very quickly. And I see what's happening out there, and I don't want any part of it. You know, people doing these long dry fasts and then eating really heavy stuff. That's real setup for disaster. Shocking the system like that. Trying to go from fields to heavy food. My goodness. You know, not even eating the heaviest foods is a shock. Can you imagine after a long dry eating heavy foods? Wow. Wouldn't recommend it, that's for sure. Slow, steady, consistent persistency. You'll get there. You'll get there to the point where you say, this is my lifestyle. That's where you're going to get to. This is my lifestyle, and you keep going. There's no destination where you say, you know, you're done. You know, oh, I do my 30, 40 day, 108-day fast and everything's taken care of. No, I never said that. And we've always talked about lifestyle. You got to make it a lifestyle. Fasting is the lifestyle. Eating is just for fun. Eating is just for fun. When you eat, enjoy it fully. Enjoy the textures, the flavors, the aromas, the taste, enjoy the preparing, enjoy the presentation of it, you know, the looks, how it's all put together, the time, enjoy the time people took to prepare it all. You know, Rana, she's so perfect in everything she does. It's just amazing. Yeah. I really, I'm a perfectionist in different ways. What about food? You know, being Italian, man, let's eat, man. Don't worry about it. It's all gonna go down in our stomachs. But you know, to see the art form of how people prepare things and place them and everything, it's just it's another art. It's just a really a beautiful art. There's many type of arts, endless types of arts that people can partake in. So yeah, interesting times that we're in, very interesting times. Diane, my daughter just finished a 21-day juice fast, not MFS. She used other detox herbs. So proud of her. She's 32. Awesome. She says she has gone through lots of huge realizations. One of them knowing food is not unnecessary. She is putting up with lots of flack from coworkers. Absolutely. Yep. This is the big challenge. Big challenge. Family, friends, coworkers, or any other place that, or groups that you hang around with on a regular, consistent basis, or occasional. If they see you've lost weight, believe me, they're going to comment. Yeah, you know, but you can gain hundreds of pounds and nobody says anything. They don't want to hurt your feelings when you gain weight, but if you lose weight, I don't know, doesn't it work both ways? So especially, you know, it's people that are just starting into fasting and they lose weight. And it's very difficult and challenging emotionally. So that's why it's always best to fast alone. Don't tell anybody you're fasting. Wear loose clothes. Some people you're going to notice in their face much more than others. But fasting alone is really the ultimate way of connecting with the divine. They said she'd get sick. Well, but said she looks so good. Yeah. Yeah, most people start brightening up, you know, even though they get thin and stuff, they brighten up. We've had very few people that actually um, looked kind of in a real stressful situation uh, with long fasts, but you know, so everybody's different, emotions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we all come out stronger, always, if we're doing things prudently. That's why we have put together what we put together. It's just another world. The MFS realm is another world that few will grasp. Emotions, good old emotions. We got to take a hold of our emotions somehow. And many techniques, tools that we have to allow us to be able to allow the emotions to express themselves, and we can step aside and say, okay, these emotions that I'm experiencing are coming through me, but they're not me. So just let me experience them from a distance and let them move on through so they can do what they need to do, and I can learn from it and take, depending what emotions you're going through, use your breath and step aside and take control. Bring everything down 50%. We all have the power to do it. Just bring everything down 50%. Anybody got any questions? Instead of hearing me blabber. Her fasting intent was to detox and reset. She has done a few fasts. This is what, most of us use fasting for, to reset and then go back to our old ways. And it's okay if you are be able to make, if you're regularly clean minimal eating. The big challenge is when people are having obstructive diets and they use the fasting to clean up and reset and then go back to the very obstructive diet. This is the real challenge. If you're clean minimal eating, mostly fruitarian salads, raw food for the most part, you can have some cooked here and there, no big deal. But if you're, clean, very clean, minimal eating, your body's going to be able to handle doing multiple of these longer fast resets. When you're doing levels, if you're living and loving, doing level 3, 4, 5, in and around there, jumping up and down a little bit, 6, 7 for a week or two, going back down, 3, 4, 5, staying always in that realm, continuously, consistently, then you're going to have that little bit of knowledge of what fasting really is and how, when we introduce foods, how it affects us. If we pay attention, if we're going to ignore it and go through, suffer the consequences, yeah, we have the option to do that through free will, right? Of course. But there's always a cost. And the cost can be many different things, namely health, pain and suffering, very erratic emotions, going back to food, and nothing satisfies. You just keep eating, eating, eating. And you get into this weird state, like you can't stop yourself. We've had people go through that, have small bouts of stuff like that, have a sense of it, and and then you have to look at yourself, my goodness gracious, what am I doing? You have to just take control of the situation, because you're eating for no reason. There's something that's just driving you to eat. It ain't hunger. It's absolutely not hunger. So take control. I am in control. I am in control. God willing, we are in control up to a point. Diane. Yes, my MFS levels are mostly 4, but very down and up. Oh, where to go? Up to full MFS. My appetite is very low now. My fridge is almost empty. Sounds like our place. You know, the fridge is mostly empty. Now more so because we have Mama with us, but it's interesting people come over. Do you guys eat? Oh, there's a lot of fruit on the counter. Food is not interpreted as food for most people, for many people. Laura, Luigi, my question is, how can a person be in the high stress mainstream world and integrate MFS as well? I still need to run my small business to make money. Many of us have done it, Laura. Many of us. Most people work, Laura. We've had people in all walks of life and all different kinds of work doing MFS. The only one that you have to be careful is on like very dangerous situation jobs. For example, if you're a roofer climbing roofs and you've never fasted, and you get into these lightheaded, dizzy spells, and you can pass out. Not a good place to be if you've never fasted and you don't know, because a lot of people experience that lightheadedness and tend to pass out if you get up too fast. So if you don't consciously remind yourself that you're in a fast and to get up slowly, make sure all your horizon's good, do your breath work, make sure everything's good to go. But even with all that, when there's an obstruction that's trying to come out, it's trying to dislodge, you can go through these phases in an instant. Like you feel like you're going to pass out. And then, if you're at home and you go to the bathroom and you release, and it goes away and complete. Sometimes it's stuck. It doesn't want to move out, whatever. You do an enema, colonic, flush it out, bang, your energy levels skyrocket. But these are the situations where we have to have that understanding of what may come. But working, high stress, what more stressful thing is there than eating, especially obstructive foods, Laura? Name one thing that's more obstructive than eating. It's a bombardment of assault on the physicality and the emotion and everything. So I was working mostly with my hands for many years, building, welding, working with steel, building, robots, machines, machine shop, auto body. And I've always fasted. Carrying heavy things, always fasted. Yeah, I went through days where, holy geez, am I going to make it through this day? Like, I went through that because, at the beginning, when you start fasting, you're going to go through all kinds of sensations. But the more you do, the more you fast, the more you clean eat, the less you're going to feel those, because it's all about what? The obstructions that are causing the imbalances. Remove the obstructions, the imbalances go away, and a balance goes, and we restore the direction of going towards balance. So we just choose one of the levels. Level 2 to 3 to start off, if you've never fasted or whatever, but make sure that you clean up the diet. They go hand in hand. So we would recommend the hybrid on the eating days. So that way there, you're training yourself for that momentum and the cycles of the dry window, the wet window, and then on the hybrid days, you have an eating window, a 3-hour eating window, right? I wouldn't want to go more than 4 hours, 3 hours. So you're basically eating your meals in that time. So if you're having some fruit, you wait a bit, have some salad, and then if you really want to eat anything else heavier, you may, but we don't really recommend it to go too heavy if you want to start clearing up. And then you going through those motions day in and day out, and all the different sensations and the body purging on the days where there's no food, and you start moving towards a better place, in a couple 3 years or more. Some people may be less, but as we're going on, you move up and down the levels. So in a month or two, if you're feeling okay, you go up a few levels, from 2, 3, go to 3, 4, and see how that feels for a week or two. Then go back down, see how that feels, and then we'll go back for a while, and then go to level 5, 6, for a week or two. Excuse me. This is the way we play it. We get a feel for it. We get a feel of the sensations, and then we start having an understanding of what the fasting lifestyle is and all the different sensations and cravings and emotions that come through, and the other people, how they affect us through the things they say because of what they see, and they don't have an understanding of it because most people don't fast. So there's so much, but it's all amazing. All amazing, Laura. I don't know if I remember your name. For how long you've been here, but we've had people with all walks of life from all different types of work that they do, and no problem. Just as I said, if you're working around like heavy equipment and stuff for putting other people in danger as yourself, you got to be prudent, man. You got to be prudent. Then you can start on 1 or 2 days a week if it's the days you're not working, and just build from that. When you're comfortable, then you can do the fast on your working days, because it's best to do it on your working days when you're keeping busy. The one thing fasting gives you is more time, much more time. So you need to be able to fill that time so you don't go cuckoo looking for food. You want to stay busy. So might as well be working, right? And just don't say anything to anybody about what you're doing. If anybody asks, I'm just under doctor's orders for some diet changes. Everything is fine. I'm feeling great, feeling fantastic. Just walk away. Don't get into it. It's not going to help you. Trying to convince people of what you're doing, no reason for it. Thank you. I didn't mean so much the physical effects of fasting. What I meant is weaning off food in a high stress work environment. Yeah, well, as I mentioned, it's no difference. You're in a high stress environment. As you're eating, you're putting more stress on the body, is what I'm trying to say, on all levels. So when you eliminate that food, you're able to handle the stress much more efficiently. There's going to be days where it's going to be challenging, or you're purging and stuff. But once that stuff comes out, the obstructions are moved out. It's a relief, and you're able to focus more, concentrate more. You'll be able to sleep less over time, and the energy levels usually go up. If energy levels go down, you need to do more washing. It's a lot more washing has to happen if the energy levels go down. And it's going to take the time it takes, to feel it all out and allow the changes to take place. But not a problem. It's not a problem at all. The emotions are the biggest challenge, always. The fasting part, the physical part of the fasting, because of the strike structure we have with the cycles and stuff, it's very easy to fall into that routine. Very easy. Wake up, dry skin brush, or go to the toilet, dry skin brush, or dry skin brush, go to the toilet, whatever you want to do, whichever you do first. Wash up, and then you start. Break your dry fast, whatever time. Start drinking, putting, washing the colons in your wet window. It's simple. Whoa. So all is possible. If you've never fasted, you're going to be in for some surprises. But it's for the most part, you can handle stress better in fasting, unless you're in a serious imbalanced situation. Just more emotions to deal with in those situations. More trust and faith into what you're doing. It's all good. When we're fasting, we're not weaning off food, we're stopping food. It's when you completely stop and you fast versus trying to wean down to stop eating, it's much more difficult. Because every time you put food in your mouth, it's a trigger to eat more. If you just stop eating, jump on, it's much easier. Much easier. Embrace the lifestyle, start off slow, build up, scale up and down a little bit, stay focused. Not rocket science, right? It's pretty simple. We're almost at 10 o'clock. If anybody has any other questions before we sign off. NFS is my lifelong guru. LOL emotions are so helpful with MFS. Gotta go now. Kisses. Love. See you, Diane. Thank you so much for joining us. Nice to see you as always. Been a slice. And we miss you. And take care. We will see you all soon. Past last Wednesday's a missed. Got tied up again this week. Hopefully I'll be able to make it next Wednesday. Lots going on. Days are full. Let's put it that way. Days are really full. Diane will know what we're talking about. And, many others who are in the same situation. So, Abbas, thank you. Thank you. We will roll her up. Keep the plasma love always flowing. Stay focused, stay strong, be resilient. We always come out stronger with fasting lifestyle. Always. We don't ever, ever stop moving in that direction where we want to go. We continue focusing where we want to go, no matter what, no matter how long it takes, we keep going. That's the new motto. So thanks again. Ciao for now. And we'll see you soon.